Okay, let's see. Aaron Brooks, he's pretty good. DJ Augustine, he's been around the league a while. He's always filled in well. Isaiah Cannon.
Excuse me, team president, what are you doing?
Funky, stop doing that.
Phil, every time you talk, I show up. You should know this by now. Now, answer the question, what are you doing?
Well, voice inside my head, I'm looking to get a backup point guard so we can start D'Angelo Russell next to Dragic.
Hold on, you want to make another trade? Phil, this series has already become a joke. The last thing we need is more moves.
Funky, I have no idea what you're talking about, but all I know is that if we get D'Angelo Russell into the starting lineup, teams aren't going to know what to do against us.
Phil, have you watched any of our games?
What? Of course I have. We've been struggling to start games.
Struggling? More like we get the ball to Melo, and then we run pick and rolls off of him to where the defense doesn't know who to defend, and then, once they start defending the shooters and Carmelo Anthony, then Goran Dragic just attacks himself. We have a perfect game plan.
But just imagine if D'Angelo Russell was there too.
Alright, now I know for a fact you haven't been watching any of the games. Russell is the igniter of our bench, Phil. Without him, these shooters are doing nothing, but with him, he drives inside, the defense has to respect him, and then he has a multitude of guys who can shoot. Not only that, but he'd have to replace DeMarre Carroll. Carroll has been one of our best contributors on the boards, as well as defensively all season. If you would have watched the games, you'd know that. You really want to demote that to the bench?
I mean, come on, Funky. Does the bench really matter?
Excuse me? Does the bench matter? Did you really just ask me that?
Hey, all I know is I've won 11 championships, and I didn't win them worrying about the bench.
Do you hear yourself right now, Phil? Well, it's pretty obvious now that the only reason you won those championships is because you've had 3 of the greatest 10 players of all time, plus Scottie Pippen.
Hey, Michael, Scottie, Kobe, Shaq, they would have been nothing without me.
Yeah, I bet. But anyway, to get back to this. Listen, Phil, if it's a close game late, we can just put D'Angelo Russell next to Dragic then. We don't have to start the game with him. All that matters is the 5 guys you have at the end, okay? Russell can carry the bench, and then when it gets close late, we can throw him in there. They did it last night against the Spurs, and it was instant. Him and Dragic were great together.
Well, if they were so great together, then why don't they just start the game?
Phil, did you really just forget about the conversation we just had? We need defense to start the game, and I want our second unit to not be horrid.
Whatever. You know it's a good trade. The only reason you don't want to do it is because, what was that BS you were saying in the beginning of the video? Oh, that you don't want the series to lose its credibility? What the hell does that even matter?
Hey, that matters a lot to me.
Well, from my perspective, Funky, it sounds pretty stupid.
Now, if we can get back to what matters, you would know that even when Russell comes in the game for Carroll, it makes it easier for the other team to score. Like, immediately. Just imagine if we had that going for the whole game, it would be ridiculous. But in those short little bursts late in game, it does work, Phil. That's all we need.
You know what, Funky? I'm willing to reason with you. Mainly because you're a voice in my head and I can't actually get you to go away, and by agreeing with you it'll make you shut up. But I can see what you're talking about. Fine. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. We'll just run from here.